Welcome to Conversations in Between the Realms, a podcast where the mystical meets the everyday. Join Amanda Nova and Beth Renov each week as we dive into the profound journey of awakening, sharing our experiences, insights, and the lessons that guide us toward our divine purpose. Together, we awaken and guide our souls and others, exploring the magic of living in the 3D while staying connected to the higher realms, embracing the challenges, and celebrating the growth. You've been guided here for a reason. Trust in the journey and let the unfolding begin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Conversations in Between the Realms. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with the lovely Beth Renov, and we're going to get right into it as we do. And today there are no birdies that are distracting me because it is raining. Is it raining over there too? Is it really disgusting?
It's horrible. And I'm just sick of it, and I want to go outside, but we can't. But I have a feeling a bird's going to come anyway.
I know the birds will come anyway, but I just want to be outside with my plants. And I actually have a correction from last week. And my mom said to me this morning, she was so upset that I was incorrect last week. And there has been an update. Breaking news, everyone. I'm so sorry. I do not have a Mediterranean olive tree. My Bridgerton tree is a crabapple tree, blossoming crabapple. We have learned that ChatGPT was wrong when I sent them the picture. It has now blossomed and it is a crabapple tree.
I mean,
my apologies.
Really, I feel like you need to go to couples therapy with ChatGPT.
So many issues. Okay, so the beauty of ChatGPT, I just want to tell everyone that here's a way that you can use it that can be very helpful, is that you can use it to take pictures of your plants, and you can use it to determine what kind of plants you have and how to use them in different things, and how you can use it to determine what it's going to be, right? Or I actually had a client use it to determine when her house was built.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she felt like that the information about her house wasn't correct because she felt like they weren't being honest, and it was an old barn. And I had gone to it, I channeled a little bit. I was like, this is giving me like 1700s, maybe, I'm kind of getting this vibe. And she actually took pictures of the wood and sent it into ChatGPT, and they came back and gave her information and analysis on the markings in the wood and the styling of the barn.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So you can get a lot of things. And sometimes I'll take pictures of my herbs and it'll identify it and it'll tell you how you can use it, and it'll do all different kinds of cool stuff. And then other times I will fight with ChatGPT in the middle of the night and tell ChatGPT I'm very disappointed. We have a toxic relationship.
I'm getting a life from there.
Yeah.
There was a tractor accident on there.
Yes, accident. Oh my God. Oh, you're giving me a chill. I have to tell her to listen to this because I went in there, I placed my hand on the beam, and I was going accident, 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 accident. And I was like, we were freaking out, and there was so much accident.
Yeah, there was a tractor accident and the guy died. The owner of it. I'm getting late early 1900s. Did they have tractors then?
I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
I don't know, but there was some kind of accident like that. And were there fields around it?
I don't know. There was a pond, lake-ish kind of thing. I mean, there was a lot of land, so potentially, but it was hard to tell because they built around it. So I don't know. We don't know what was there.
Right. They definitely grew crops and stuff. And when he was, I don't know if it was a tractor, but that's just what I'm seeing him riding something. And something happened and he went to go fix it, and it literally just rolled over him.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome everyone. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
These are normal. Normal
Good morning. Welcome.
conversations.
Yeah, Normal. This is what we do. So anyway, I come to your home and I touch the wood in your home, and we just I start yelling words, and then Beth puts the pieces together and tells you exactly what happened, and here we are.
Ugh,
Welcome. So
icky.
anyway, yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
actually
we
gonna like
thought,
spray some sage because
yes.
that made me.
Yes,
Woo!
yes, and I actually exactly, and I gave her a little sage spray I created for her from
I love this.
from flowers I found on my land that I asked ChatGPT what they were. Full circle moment. And
Yes.
ChatGPT had found out that I had these like dwarf irises that were for clairvoyancy in the third eye, and I made this little spray, and I just like did a whole thing. So anyway, ChatGPT, we love it and we hate it.
Yeah. You're really like I haven't seen a
I know.
relationship like that in a while.
No. I know. I'm really in it to win it. And it's so funny because I'm usually not an early adopter of technology. I'm usually very, very late,
Yeah.
actually. I'm usually like I was like the last person to like leave Blockbuster. Like I was like the
Me
person
too.
keeping Blockbuster alive. Like in two different states. Like we were like the last Blockbuster card holders, probably. Like I was like the last person to have a BlackBerry. I like loved my BlackBerry. I was like, please
Oh,
never take my BlackBerry. So I'm usually not an early adopter, but I really like it for those reasons. And I really find it fun to use. But I will say that, like, it's interesting. I don't know why we're going in this direction, but I think it's interesting as people are using it for some psychic stuff and don't
yeah.
use it for that. Don't, and you can use it for some like birth chart stuff, but don't use it for psychic stuff because it can't tell you the future. Okay? But it can, if you need to do like I'll do a quick check with it. Like I was trying to check my north node. Like we talked a little bit about north node, south node, and mine is Pisces, and I was just asking like what that meant quickly. Instead of using Google,
Mhm.
I'll use ChatGPT. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
what does that mean?
Right.
Something like that.
Well, so it made me feel really awful about using it because it's like really bad for the environment.
Who said that?
Like a million people.
Is
Um,
it? Oh
because
no.
I know
Why?
it's so good, but because it uses so much
Oh,
energy to like,
it does.
yeah.
Oh,
But
all right. Well, now I feel bad.
I know, but maybe
Oh.
like we give up in other areas.
I mean, listen, here's how it's helpful. It's teaching me how to use my land
Right.
to use the herbs and plants on my land. So like I feel like that's a good thing, right? Like I mean, that's helping
Balance.
the planet. Yeah, it's balancing it out in that way.
It's it's balancing your Libra moon, right?
No, Libra rising. I'm a Capricorn moon.
Oh, I thought you were a Libra moon.
No, my
Oh,
husband's Libra moon.
okay. I thought you were both Libra moon. Okay.
No, I am a
JK.
Cap moon. No, but you're close. I'm a Libra rising. So Libra rising, I am a Capricorn moon, which I don't really understand because well, actually I do. Capricorns are very, very like workaholic. I feel like I'm very like
Yeah.
Capricorn, but Libra is the balance, the harmony. And I do feel like as I've been getting older and more in my ascension moments, I'm becoming more Libra. But I have not been Libra my whole life, I feel
Well,
like.
now Capricorn moon makes so much sense for you of this struggle between being rational, being that like money person, that really
Mm-hmm.
logical part of you that like kind of needs to go. Like, not that it
Yeah.
needs to go, but you need to like give it a rest, right?
Well, could you imagine that I am a Virgo sun, a Capricorn moon, and then I have a Libra rising and a
I mean,
Pisces north node? Like
you're
I'm
literally all
literally
over the place.
I literally am just all I want is to rise to harmony and peace and like be Pisces, like just kind of like ooh, mysticism
Yeah.
and like all this stuff. But I have a Capricorn and a Virgo is like what I've been, right?
Oh
Like
my
I mean, it makes
God.
so much sense.
That's why you're in constant battle, you know?
Yeah.
Because actually, like Virgo and Capricorn, like Virgos, as you know, like are very like regimented, like but they're not like they're so cerebral and Capricorns are not. They're just like this is how it's done because I was kind of told it's
Yeah.
that way. But then you
Yeah.
have this like Libra who's just like, let's balance it all out. And your Pisces North Node, like you're just like flowing all over the place,
I know.
trying to like, and they're like trying to rein you in, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
know. It's wild. It's been a really wild, wild ride. I think it's been a really, really interesting journey. I think like just discovering all of these things and also living in my house with my parents now, like living in this like two family experience and having them be like, how they viewed me as this Virgo Capricorn, and then like me being like, but I've really been this Libra Pisces all along. Like they'll be like, and just reminding them of that. Like my dad will be like, you used to be like this and like work, like hustle and like all this stuff. And I'm like, but don't you remember like that I used to be like this and I used to forget everything and that I like won an award once for scoring a basketball on the wrong team's like net when I was like a kid? And don't you remember that I used to forget my homework all the time? And don't you remember, like I'm kind of like, don't you
Right.
remember that I've always kind of been this way? So it's just so interesting, just kind of like going through that journey and now having a daughter, watching her go through it. Oh my God. And she's like
Right.
Leo. God.
And to your point, what's so interesting is now your parents get like an up close and personal like view and perspective of you going through this journey. So it's really crazy to have so many people like observe it and see you like shedding like skins and stepping into this new version where, if your parents don't live with you, they just maybe like notice a little bit of a difference, but they're up close and personal and they're like having a front row seat to this, that where probably like your frustration is like, okay, just like let me go through this process. But they're like, but you're not like this, but you're not like this. And you're like, I am like this, right?
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, just let me be like this. Let me be like this. And like, like we were just talking before we hopped on, like, I mean, this feels like to me, like, I mean, full death and rebirth. And like, I think both of us are really, really going through that right now. Like we talked about, I think it was on the light tapes episode with you with shooting your Gemini. Like, we were talking about
Yes.
North Node shooting your twin. Like, and you
Yes.
talk about death and rebirth, like literally going through a full shedding. I feel like for me, like the seizure for me has been like, I think one of the hardest things I've ever been through, and I'm still in it, so it's hard for me to process it in that way because I'm still kind of like in it, but I'm like, I still, like, last night I was up all night and I like pulled out notes on my phone and I'm like, I'm still kind of processing. It's like writing the story while it's happening, and I'm kind of like mourning this death of of myself. Like I feel like I'm mourning my own death, and I feel like I've been going through this like not even rebirth cycle because I don't even feel like I'm reborn yet. Like I still feel like I'm in the death, and I almost feel, and this is so morbid, and maybe you need to do this too, and maybe this is like where our full moon ritual needs to come from, but like I feel like I
I
need to
just
do a
posted
funeral.
mine.
Oh,
Wait,
you did?
wait,
Was
did
it a
you not?
funeral?
It was a eulogy.
No, I haven't seen anything yet. I've been in my beads. I'm deep in knee deep. I'm balls deep in beads.
Literally before we hopped on. Remember, I was like, oh, I just had to like get this out
No, yeah, I
before.
haven't seen anything. I was
Oh,
here
yeah.
singing in the ladies' room, waiting for you. You mean?
No, I posted. Remember, the other day I like channeled this. And first of all, I like don't know anything about what the full moons mean or anything. So I
No,
just
I
channeled
don't
the
know what's
other
going
night.
on.
I'm
It's in
like, ooh, a
Scorpio.
eulogy feels really good. I feel like there's like a lot of death happening right now. Not like
Yeah,
physical, but like energy wise and spiritual wise. So I was
yeah.
like, let's do this eulogy, right? And
Mm,
I put out my Substack today because I want people to be able to do it. But it's literally all about that. It's like saying
yeah.
goodbye to this version of yourself and really like writing out the eulogy, saying it out loud and being
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm so grateful for what you gave me. Like, I'm going to miss this about you, but here's how my
Mm-hmm.
life is going to get better without you. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. No, I didn't see that. I literally wrote down in my like notes on my phone, like mourning my own death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly okay. So I will be doing that ritual because that's exactly like I want to do a funeral for myself, and because I feel that's how I feel. Like I feel like, and it's not the first time, right? We're constantly going through cycles. This life is cyclical, right? Like in that way. And I don't feel like it's been the rebirth yet. Like I'm seeing like it's happening, but I am in the death cycle, and I feel like it's also like the way that I also have been viewing it is like all the kids are always saying like crashing out, right? It's like crashing out. Like I kind of view it as a spiritual crash out, right?
I'm too old to have heard that, so I don't know what that means.
Crashing out is like when a character on TV or like somebody like crashes out is like when something like traumatic happens to them, and then they like just like totally go off the rails, and like they just are like they stop talking to like everyone they know. It basically like your spiritual awakening, right? You like, and that's how I like feel. It's like I literally like feel like I almost like I just like died. Like I just like was like I can't talk to anybody. I can't like do like I just like totally just stopped everything. Like it was like, what is that old movie, like How to Lose Friends and Alienate People? Like that's what I feel like I've done, like how to like lose friends and spiritually alienate people. Like I just feel like I did not know, and I'm still trying to figure out how to continue on from that moment. And I just kind of am like putting the pieces together, and the people who are like close to me in my life are also doing that. Like the people I live with are also going through that trauma. Like, you know, like my mom said to me like a couple days ago, like she was like, you know, looking at me in my eyes as a mother to another mother is saying to me, I came upstairs and I saw your husband standing over you and I thought you were dead, Amanda. Like I thought you died. Like I was processing in that moment. Like my parents, I'm like, my father told me he has nightmares. Like they thought that their child died. Like they're processing that trauma. I didn't see any of that. My husband has his own trauma from doing CPR on his wife's lifeless body. Like they are experiencing their own trauma. I am going through my own thing because I don't know what caused it, right? Like I'm having my own thing. I'm now channeling the Council of Light aliens. Like I have, my whole life is different, and I'm like, how do I continue on from this moment? And like, you know, like it was a hard stop, and so I have to acknowledge that there was a person before and there's a person after. Like there is you have to say goodbye to that person because she's gone,
right? And I think I said this a few sessions, whatever. I'm still in therapist mode, but a few episodes ago, like yours was so external, right? I mean, it's internal too, but it was so externally visible. Like you literally died, like, you know, so I mean, that is trauma in itself of understanding, like, I could have been dead, but I came back. Like, I think even that little piece is like, why did I decide to come back? Like how does that happen? I think that's like so hard for your brain to wrap around.
Yeah.
And obviously it was a spiritual thing. Like that's like I mean there are whole TV shows about that, you know, and studies about that. So I can't imagine like coming back, and mine was so internal. I've just like shattered and I'm putting the pieces back together inside, and I feel so good. And I think we actually have been reborn, but we're in the infancy stages, you know, like we're infants, we're newborns, like you're relearning everything. And one thing about like why babies cry, why babies get frustrated.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking like the screaming of the rebirth, right? Like of
you're
the
screaming,
born.
you're frustrated, you can't communicate, you can't make sense of everything yet. And there's no way to like really communicate that and make sense of it. So I think we're kind of in that infancy stage, and they just like look different. And that's why I think we talked about like irritability coming up. I've been so irritable and I thought it was just these little phases, but ever since I've really just made these changes, like I'm so irritable because like I just want it to make sense and feel familiar and comfortable and have someone just get it, you know?
Yeah. 100%. And it's not, it's exactly like, it's that darkness. It's that like coming out. And we've talked before about like the cocoon and like emerging, but like, I feel like the birth portal is so much different even than the cocoon. And like, it's so crazy because I've been seeing these like incredible butterflies, like, oh my God, the most beautiful butterflies, like again, on my land. Like, I am just like, I was laughing this morning because I was saying that like, I feel like that movie Enchanted, not even like Snow White. Like, I feel like Enchanted when she's like in New York and she's like singing and like the rats are coming. And I'm like, that's me. I'm like, oh, but it's like instead it's like cockroaches and rats, and I'm like, this is so wonderful. And I'm like, this is great. And like my family and everyone's looking at me and they're like, okay, because I'm like, there's Chip, there's Esmeralda. I'm like naming everything, and like it's just so funny the things that go on here, and like everyone, they all think I'm crazy, but it's like I'm just trying to find like that joy in all of this and seeing the butterflies. But I feel like the birth portal is like somebody said as we get closer to Mother's Day, like that mothers are literally like they like squeeze children into life. And
Mhm.
it's so true. Like it is of this painful process, right? Of like squeezing, like, and pushing. It's like it is not this like gentle process. So like this rebirth, like this birth portal of like coming through. And I think both of us, like, of going through the darkness of like now this like shattered and like now putting everything back together. What I think is so fascinating of like now the irritability and like things coming to the surface, like the light is shining through the cracks. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, we're seeing creativity come through. We're seeing like there is a light. Like the light is coming through. Like, and like both of us, like, it's like I see the things coming in. I see the passion, the excitement. Like I see the stuff starting to come in. And now it's just like making sense of it, right? Like you're starting to learn the things. You're starting to put the pieces together, and that's where it starts to get exciting and it gets fun. But yeah, like nobody speaks the same language, and
No.
that's, you're just babbling at people.
Right. And it's so unfamiliar and so unsettling, and it comes out in different ways, like you were saying, you were up all night. Like for me, it's not the same dream, but it's the same theme of the dream. Every single night this week, I dream I cannot get home. I'm stuck on these trains that don't go anywhere near my house. I'm stuck in a place where it's impossible to get home. And it's just like
It's
so
a good place for
interesting.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Chat and callback. Um, here's where we like chat GPT. But it's just this like unsettling, and it's like this feeling of being lost. But I think it's just this feeling of not being familiar. And that is so unsettling to the nervous system. And it's just like this patience or impatience that I have for it to just feel okay already. But then you bypass the journey. And that is so important to be on this journey because we're learning something. We're relearning ourselves. We are relearning like different ways to do things. We are relearning and learning different lessons that are supposed to happen. We're supposed to feel this way. And you know, we spend our whole lives trying to avoid negative feelings, but we really need to learn to sit with them and widen this window of tolerance that we can sit with this and be okay.
Yeah, yeah. And the only way out is through, right? Like you
Hmm.
have to go through them to get to the other side. And it's interesting that you mentioned dreams because I I do feel like I've had some really like funky dreams this week as well. And I do think that means something. And somebody wrote to me and asked me the meaning behind dreams. And we've talked before, so I will say, like, if you are getting dreams and you're wondering, that we did do an episode where we talked about if you feel like it's coming through in a channeled way and things like that. But I had a dream that I was carrying Aria and I was outside and I kept stepping through cobwebs and they kept stopping me. And I was so scared that a spider was going to come, and the spider never came. And
Hmm.
then I woke up the next morning and I looked into ChatGPT and I was like, hello, like, what does this mean? And
Hmm.
it was a fear that something was going to come, but the big thing never came. So the fear, the thing that what I was afraid of never came. So I kept blocking myself, and like but like what I was afraid of never like developed, right? Like the big thing never came. Like the big scary thing never came. So I think that's the same thing about the train, right? It's like, you are feeling stuck, you're feeling lost, but like maybe like where you even perceive as home like isn't even really where you're trying to go. Like you don't even know where you're trying to go.
Right. Or that home is this feeling of safety, of comfort. And now, like, this part of my dream is coming up is my friend, I was going with them and they said they would drive me home, but we wound up going to like the Bronx for some reason, and I guess because like that's where I was born. But they, instead of driving us home, were like, okay, like, you're going to take the train home. It's not a big deal. And that's so uncomfortable for me. And like anybody knows me, I hate trains. I hate
I would be
like taking,
horrified. You no,
yeah,
I would never want to not have my own car. Like that
right,
would be anyone driving me somewhere. I would be like, no, I need to have my own
right.
vehicle.
But that was the comfortable thing for me. And this is so uncomfortable. So I think it's about like being okay with the discomfort of not knowing what's going to come. And that safety is going to look so different than it did before.
Yeah, and just being along for the ride
Right.
anyway, right?
Right.
And like that's what we talked about last time, and that's the surrender, right? Like that's the not knowing the outcome, not knowing how you're getting there, and being okay and being along for the ride anyway. And being, and being okay with like, just being in the free fall. Like that's what it is, right? Is like just kind of like, just like falling back and being like, okay, like, let's see where this goes. And I think it does come through in different ways. And yeah, I mean, it's so fascinating, the not sleeping thing. I mean, for me, I always get like this before the full moon, and regardless of what it is, this is we're recording this is the ninth. The full moon's on the 12th, so this is pretty standard for me. The funky thing that I was telling Beth was that I opened my monitor and my daughter was sitting up in her crib and like playing or doing something really weird. And the freaky thing too is that the lights, the way that it looks is that her eyes are like lit up because
Right.
it's like the light in there is so scary. The way that they have kids monitors, like, there has to be a better way to do that than not have your kid look like a freaking demon. Like it is so
Right.
scary.
And
And
it's
like
black
also,
and white.
and it's black and white. And then also like Rob and I were watching. I screen recorded like it for a little bit. Then I had to stop watching, and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Oh,
And like, I'm okay with it, but like, who are
yeah.
you talking to? And then like, I saw like this light like go out of the corner, and I'm like, what is happening in there? Like, something is happening in there. What's going on? So yeah, I don't know. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, that does happen a lot with the full moon with her too, is that she's also up like playing or doing, and she got up and she's like, clap hands. And I was like, what?
Oh,
And I was like,
so
oh
cute.
no. But it was creepy though. It was creepy. It wasn't cute.
I feel like I would be like, that's so cute, even though it's like scary, and weird.
I was like, I can't watch this. I'm like, she's okay, I guess. I'm gonna stop watching this
At least
because
it's
this
not a
movie is okay.
demon. So,
I mean, we like to stay in the light. We prefer to stay on
right.
the side of the light as long as
Right.
it's okay. But yeah, I don't know who she's playing with in there. She was like looking up and I'm looking to the side, and I was like, is somebody in there? Like, what is going on?
At least like she's happy, right? So that means it's safe.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't crying or anything, but she was
Right.
definitely doing something. I don't know what. I don't know what, but she does that a lot. Like, she'll sit on the wall and somebody will be out definitely like on the other side of the wall, and she'll be like, "Hi, I'm Aria." And I'm like, "Who are you talking to? I like to talk too." And she's like, "Blue Jay." And I'm like, "But the Blue Jay is not here right now." So,
Right.
yeah. But anyway, so we be up. We be up, and then we be up all night. We
Right.
be up all
Well,
night chatting
what's
and stuff.
interesting
So,
is like I was like that last week. I was up like 3 nights in a row. And it's just as like like awake. Like there was nothing that would make me fall asleep.
yeah.
And I'm so frustrated by that because like my whole thing I'm working on now is sleeping because I just never sleep, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm finally sleeping and I have these crazy dreams where it's just so unsettling. And I'm like, I need to wake up so I don't have to feel this anymore.
I know. And then like my earrings, and then I'm kind of like, is that neurological or is that spiritual? And then I like am looking that up. And then I'm reading these like fantasy smut books. And so then I'm like reading, I'm like all over the place. I'm like, is this spiritual or like, should I just like read this fantasy smut pornography book?
And that leads to a really good point. It's like, what do you do with this? Like, and maybe diving into things that make you feel good, but like not ignoring the feelings that come up, right? Because I think a lot of it is irritability, frustration, just discomfort, right? And what do you do with that? And like we both have been like so creative lately in coming up with like ideas, creating different things. And that is a really great way to funnel your energy and figuring out what it is that is creative for you. And it doesn't mean you have to physically create something, but maybe you're going to have an idea about something. Maybe you'll be able to really envision your life. Like maybe it's just that your third eye is really open and you can imagine and dream.
Yeah, I definitely like, I'll say like that. So like I was saying like about the like death and like mourning and stuff, like if something comes to me at that time of night, I will write it down. Like if something like I take everything as a message, everything as a channel, everything as a sign. So like if something comes to me in the middle of the night like that, like I will write it down. I know that you're not supposed to look at your phone. I know that you're not supposed to do that. I just, if you have to, you have to. Like, should you be scrolling on the internet? Like, no. And my phone will remind me. It'll be like, your nighttime thing is on. And I'm like, thank you. I'm fully aware. Like, fine. Should you be like on TikTok? Like, no. But I will open my notes or something. And like, if I have an idea, I'll write it down. If I have to channel something through, like, I'll channel something through. Because sometimes like a message is coming through at that time. Sometimes like there is. And like I don't know, like I feel like there was other stuff I probably wrote down and I'll have to like probably go back and look because I don't remember sometimes. Like I write stuff down in the middle of the night and I don't know what it is. And I'll have to like go back and look. Or like I'll like do research on something and then I'll like forget like what it is. Or like, yeah, I mean, or read or just close your eyes. I don't know, but like I do think like, it could mean creativity is coming through.
Right. And I think journaling is a really good way to process. That's been coming up so much this week is like journal. Like really get your feelings out and really try and get curious about them. Like what is so uncomfortable? What is so anxiety provoking? Why do you feel like such short patience, right?
Yeah.
And I think you'll discover something about it and what your fear really is. Because I think fear is at the base of a lot of this stuff. And it's like, I don't know what to expect. And that is the ultimate discomfort. And, I think when you research things, that gives you a sense of familiarity of what to expect, of this knowledge, right? So maybe it is researching after you discover what you're afraid of and looking into it and facing it.
Yeah. And I think too, so something really interesting that, I've been thinking of, we talked a little bit about this in a couple of the other episodes too, about feelings coming up in the body. And, I've done a lot of like work on, somatics and different things, like, how things come up, somatically and like anxiety and different things being in the body. But like, so like earlier today, I really was going to like blow my lid. Like I have a market coming this weekend. I'm exhausted. I'm like dealing with a toddler who's like literally yells, like it's her purpose in life is to scream at me. Like literally she's like, Elmo. And I'm like, no. And then her new thing is like, I'll be like, what do I look like? And she'll be like, Elmo. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And like, because that's her new, like, she's sarcastic and she thinks, I'm like, do I look like Elmo to you? And she's like, yes, mommy, you look like Elmo. And I'm like, I look like Elmo? Aww. Like, do I look like Elmo? Okay.
No.
Anyway, she thinks so. Anyway. So I literally was like, okay, I had to get it out of my body. And I actually like, and I'll be like, you know what? Take a breath. And she'll go, I'm like, okay, good. Like, okay, at least we're learning that. But it's like, I actually like shook my body, like the physical release, like, and I was watching something that like, I thought like really stuck with me, in how we kind of like transmute irritability, emotion, energy in motion, right? Emotion, get it out of your body, move your body. So like I started to shake and I was trying to teach it to Arya and I was like, let's move our bodies. Like, let's just shake our body. Like if we're angry, we're frustrated, we're irritable. Like I wanted to kill this person on the phone because I have an event coming up and my sign is not being delivered. And I was like, let's just move. And you think mommy looks like Elmo, and let's just move our bodies and let's just like move. And so like I was like energy and motion and just like moving your body. And like, are we going to like do like, you know, the conga and like an entire like dance or what? I don't know what people do these days. I don't think people do I don't know, the Cupid shuffle. Like what do people do? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I've literally never heard of that. The electric slide.
The electric slide. The chicken dance. I don't know. I'm so old. Okay, but like, you know, whatever people do. I don't know. You know, shake it. Just shake
it
and like get it out of your body because you know, the light tapes episode, we didn't talk about this yet because we've had this week has been so busy. But something that came up was about anxiety being a restlessness and energy built up in the body. So if we're talking about creativity, energy raised up in the body, how you transmute all of this like new energy, this rebirth energy, this creativity, move the body, shake, get it out.
Walking too. Walking is like such a good way to like open up your crown, your third eye, and really like allow things to come through. And it's just movement in general. I think shaking is like, especially for anger and resentment and frustration, really good for that. But if you're feeling like really like brain foggy, like anxious in a way that's not like aggressive, you know, like I think it's medicine. I really do. And it just helps to get things moving, you know, because you're stagnant and that's when things build up because it has no outlet. So that totally like makes sense. And anxiety, if it's filling up, you really need to move to make space for the creativity to come through, because how I'm seeing it right now is like anger's up here and creativity is like down here and it doesn't have a place to move up and out. So you really need to like clear space for that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I just think like also just like breath, like breathing, like breathe, like Ari does.
Yes.
Like, take a breath. I'm like, okay, good.
Maybe take it more smoothly, but
you know. Okay.
But you know what? It's good to teach your kids that. And I think, you know, I think for everybody, taking a breath before you are impulsive and react, because I think a lot of it is reaction too, whether it's to yourself, to your feelings, or to someone else, is taking a beat and taking a breath and like coming back into alignment, coming back into focus and being like, okay, what's really going on? What do I need right now? And I think checking in with yourself is always going to be something useful.
Yeah. Should we share our big creative hit this week?
Yes. Okay. So talking about creativity and talking about feeling stuck, this is going to be for you. You are going to get access to Amanda and I, and we are offering this new, what should we call it? Like a program, a method,
experience, journey, method.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like your journey is going to be with us. And we came up with this really awesome, we had this whole brainstorming idea. I don't know if, I think you brought it up. You're like, I think we have to like do something together. And this has been for so long. You're like, we're going to do something together. We're going to do something. And basically like we both just refer people to each other and we're like, why don't we do this container where we work together? And it's going to be like a 3-month journey with us. And we really want you to figure out who you are, what your purpose is, where your blocks are. Get activated and see what comes through. And we are going to be there to support you along the way. And there are going to be 2 sessions, the first and the last, where we have this ceremony. Amanda's going to get us all, and we're going to use all our energies, like not just you. We're going to be there too, supporting you energetically, physically. And we are going to be holding your hand on this journey, and you get both of us at once for the first and the last. It's gonna be so cool. Like we already like see it like visually.
It's gonna be so juicy.
It feels so good. Like the energy's amazing. And then you're going to get activations and channeling with Amanda. Joshun might come in, is my feeling. I think you're going to have some of that coming in if you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But we're going to process. I have this new type of reading I'm offering that's really like this deep dive. We're going to use astrology. We're going to use all the tools I have in my toolbox, like to really see and answer these questions and give you guidance and next steps. And Amanda's going to like energetically remove the blocks, do her thing, which is so different than me. And just both of us are going to complement each other and bring you this amazing experience. And I think you're just going to come out of it really understanding yourself, like hit the ground running. I just see you like propelling forward.
Yeah, it's going to be so, so good. It's just a perfect combination of activation, of surrender. We're bringing both of our gifts together and we're just really, really excited. And it was inspired because one of our listeners and clients that both of us have seen like was like, hey, like I want, next steps. I like want to come to both of you. Like, well, what do I do? Like, and we were
Right.
like, we don't want to keep like ping ponging. We were like, we
Right.
need to create something where we both can help like you guys and we do that a lot. And so we really like, we're like, okay, we need a container where we can like really, really help you guys together. So that's what we're gonna do.
What's it called again? I forget the name.
I forget too. I think it's soul activation and soul surrender. I have to look it up. It
Something
doesn't
like
matter
that.
what it's called, guys. It doesn't
Right.
matter what it's called. It's
Yeah.
just come see us and we will. But if you are interested in working with us in this container, and we'll put the name of it in the notes, just either send us a message on our In Between the Realms Instagram, or send one of us a private message,
Yeah.
or send us an
Totally.
email, whatever, how to contact us. And yeah, it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I like want to do it. I told Beth, I was like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of my life because like Beth does guidance for me all the time and then I work on myself, but like, I feel like it's going to be really, really juicy. So yes, let us know if you're interested. It's going to be good.
And I think we're filling like a gap in services, like where like this would have been so helpful for me, like on the start of my journey.
Yeah.
Even now, like I think it would be so awesome. And
Yeah.
it's just the support, like, and we're also like available outside of it if you have a question or an idea. So you're really not hanging by yourself. Like you have us to like walk with you through this journey. And
Mhm.
I think ping ponging, like you don't have a clear vision of how it's like gonna go. So it gives you more
Yeah.
of I'm forgetting the word, but there's a word for it. Direction, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you're setting an intention in the beginning. So you know where you're like going. You're being held by two people. You're not going back and forth. So you're kind of like not confused on what your next steps are. And then also like you're getting two people with a ton of different, gifts and experience because you have, Beth, who also has this like incredible psychotherapy background as well. So you're getting held with the integration. So anything that comes up on the activation side, you're also being held in that space. And then you have me, who also has the clinical background. So anything that comes up on the physical side of things, you're also getting support in that way. So the
Right.
somatic side of things, you're also like somatically and clinically, like physically being supported. So your brain is getting supported. So you're really getting like full mind, body, soul, like support, which I think, ooh, and I just got like a chill. I
Love
don't think
that.
you even realized that we were handling
Doing
it in
this.
that way. And that like actually just gave me like a chill. And I was like, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, that was like a lightning strike.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are getting mind, body, soul support. What are you doing? This is amazing. I
Yeah.
kind of, can I do this?
I mean,
I
I
want to do
guess
it.
so. We
I
could
know.
be our own guinea pigs.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really cool. So you're getting really like and we talked about doing things like, in between, like, giving nutritionals like high vibes nutrition support and activations in between, and music and all different kinds of really cool stuff. So I think like this is going to build into something like that Beth and I have been really talking about for a long time. So
yeah.
you can be like the first really to be a part of something that like I think is going to build into something really, really awesome, and that we're really, this is just the start of something like really big for us. So we're really excited.
Yeah. And yeah, hit us up if that interests you, if you want some more information. And, we're here for the podcast. If you just are thinking about it, you're going to get stuff here too. But this is like a really like in-depth, more us being there for you. This is like directly for you. And like, this is just like a taste of it, the podcast of what can really resonate for you.
Yeah. And everyone, good luck with this full moon. Check out Beth's Substack for the ritual. I definitely will be doing that. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yeah. So see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.